Hey everybody, this is Janet, and right now we're going to be talking about niche. Okay, and I'm so glad to have you here because I love talking about this subject. This is me, it sums me up. I love to coach entrepreneurs to cultivate order, peace, and prosperity. I also love helping them discover solutions, but in a really peaceful and gentle way. So let's quickly share the agenda. I'll do my best to keep it within 30 minutes. Number one, we're going to talk about what is a niche exactly and really about the mindset that you need to have. So, what do I need to let go of in order to choose a niche? And third, how to find the right lucrative niche for you. Okay, so this is one of my topics that is really mindset heavy. And so, what I do is I encourage you to stay with me here. Okay, I want you to perhaps take some notes at the end rather than during the presentation. However, I do encourage you to stay in the present with me, focus on the situation, focus on what we're talking about, and also try to put yourself in the shoes of the stories that I'm sharing. And then third, this is recorded as an on-demand webinar. However, on webinar Wednesday, I'll be on live. So if you type into the chat button on Wednesdays, you'll see that I'm there. If you're taking an on-demand version, please know that if you email me right away, it gets buzzed to my telephone and I'll pick it up. I'll see that you're there. Either way, once I see that you've registered, I'm going to keep my eyes open for you and make sure to support you in the best way that I can. Next, please know that you'll likely be receiving special offers or invitations from me. I not only talk about niche, but I also teach people how to do branding, more about mindset, how to do signature systems, how to price, how to package. And so because you're interested in this particular subject, I think you might be interested in the other classes that I teach as well. Also know that you can always find me at mymoneypivot.com. And finally, I love feedback. I miss teaching people in person because when we're in person, I feel like I can see what's going on. I can see if I'm boring you or confusing you or exciting you. And when I teach in this manner, as much as I can give you this value, it helps me to know what you're thinking so that I can give you even more value. So if you have any feedback for me, please email me at janet@mymoneypivot.com just so I can help make this as strong as possible. Okay, now let's get centered. All right, so one thing I want to share with you before we dive into the niche is one of my favorite places to go is Cape Cod. And I could be butchering this, but this looks so much like the Highland Lighthouse that I like to go to in Cape Cod. It's gorgeous. It's in Truro. If you're ever up in Cape Cod, my tip is to go for sunset and go to Highland Lighthouse and go watch the sunset from there. It is the most gorgeous place in the world. And so with that said, let's get settled and let's get into the right peaceful mindset. So close your eyes with me and we're going to play pretend. Please feel that you're at the beach right now. You feel the sand and you want to feel the sand even better, so you take off your shoes and you have your eyes closed. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. You could hear the waves down the cliff. You could feel the wind. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. And finally, you could feel the sun touching your cheek. And you scrunch your toes and you can feel that soft sand. And know that all is well and that you're here, you're peaceful, and you're ready to learn. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Okay. See, it's important, I love when we get focused together. because I want you to take this in. So when it comes to niche, right, I really like centering on the lucrative niche mindset. Now, some people's mindset might jump to like, Janet, why does it have to be lucrative? Maybe that's a triggering word. I don't know. But we'll get to that. So let's define a niche. A niche is a combination of the people that you serve, the situation you help solve, and the system you solve their problem with. So usually the niche can be something maybe inspired from your past or how you were raised, or even something that you stumbled upon that really helped you and that you want to pay it forward and help other people in the same way. So that's what the lucrative niche is, okay? Now, we have to deal with some fears. Okay, so I'm just going to get you ready. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 different fears. A lot of people are afraid to discover their niche because they don't want to leave anybody behind. And it's kind of like, you don't want to be a rude person. You don't want to offend anybody. So you don't want to leave anybody behind. And, raise your hand or do a check mark on your paper if that sounds like you. Number 2, a person might not want to choose a niche because they may lose business or opportunities. So you see in this screen here, this man is sort of excluded from the group. And the group hasn't folded him in, and therefore he's losing this chance of, being part of the team or having great friendships. So definitely there's that FOMO feeling, the fear of missing out. Please raise your hand or put a check mark next to that. Okay. The next slide is based in confusion. What do I do with the clients I already have? Some people are afraid that, look at all this work I did, Janet, papers, wrestling, look at all this work that I did. I did all this work. I, wrote all this marketing material. And they're afraid to throw it all out when they choose a new niche, so there's confusion and there's a real struggle there. And finally, I hear this one the most. Everybody can use what I have to offer, so I shouldn't niche because I'm going to exclude somebody. Remember, the fear of missing out is a really powerful fear. So that's just what it all is. And one of the biggest fears, it being human nature, is we really don't want to leave anybody out. So I wrote here, beware the bleeding heart. Beware of this guilty, gut-wrenching feeling you have when people have to be left out, right? It's kind of like, you're in 3rd grade again, and they're going to play kickball in gym class, and everybody's picking, and then you're the last one standing, and how hurtful does that hurt? And I say that, being, the shortest one in class, the smallest one, and it's not fun. And as humans, we don't want to do that to other people. So our heart bleeds, we feel bad. So when we feel bad because we don't want to leave anybody out, it hurts our business. It really hurts the communication. And it's kind of like a buffer between you and the person who really needs you and values you. Okay, so let's dig in to some mindset shifts here. We're going to be talking about some positive reframes. Now, when I coach my clients through this, sure, there are steps in choosing, your right lucrative niche, but there's mindset coaching throughout the whole process. Okay. And the one thing to remember is that when you succeed, your community succeeds. Okay. When you expand, your community expands. And that's kind of like the foundational belief that we need to keep in mind when we niche. So here I'm going to share, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 6 reframes, and feel free to write these down. And even if you have a journal, perhaps journal about them and figure out how you take those in. Okay, how do they resonate with you? Number 1, marketing to everyone is marketing to no one. We've all done this before. 7 different targets with different personalities and different needs. Chances are you might attract one of them, or you might confuse them, and you're just going to alienate everybody else. When you're marketing to everyone, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage, especially if you're a small business owner, because you don't have time to, fuss around with changing your message to suit everybody's purpose. You can't make everybody happy, and therefore that's why you need to niche so that the people who need you can find you right away. Okay? Now here's another one. Now my coach teaches this, and this is a mindset shift that I struggle with. This says, don't confuse your business with your charity. So at a class in UHeart that I attended a couple years ago, before the pandemic, there was a woman who her business was being a property owner, and she had a rental property for low income people. And she was really upset in the class. And, we all just felt for her. She was on the verge of tears. And she has a real passion for helping people who have experienced homelessness and who are just on the verge of, starting their life. But the problem was that they couldn't afford her rent. And a lot of people were late in their rent. And when they were late in her rent, then that means she had to cover for it. And what happened is that she ended up pulling from her 401k in order to, pay those bills. And so she hurt herself in the process. And, she was really on the verge of foreclosure just because she confused her business with her charity, meaning her giving nature, right? And that was just a really sad situation. So here's the reframe. As you make more money, you will have the means to help the people and the causes you care about. So my example with that is my family. When my parents moved back to the Philippines, they decided to start all these businesses. And the businesses were there to help the townspeople, help the people in Mindoro, where my dad was from, all of the people living in poverty or not having access to education or clean water. So because our factory had become so successful, they could then take their earnings from that and then, use it for the Philippines. And so, when I think of our factory, I think of wow, it wasn't just about making a sale. It was really impacting a whole community that counted on us. So I love this. Number 1, I love these colors. I love the gold, and I love her lipstick, and I love her eyelashes. But it's true. This is an authentic gut reaction. So many of us have that FOMO feeling hovering over us like a dark cloud, that when that is able to shift, it's true astonishment. This is what I want you to do. Sit wherever you're sitting and just kind of reach your arms out like this man. So when you niche, it creates a whole new world of opportunity. It's creative, exciting, and it's full of possibilities. That's your new world when you niche. Okay, just open your arms wide. That is your world. Okay? Now, when you niche, the truth is you're not leaving anybody behind, because you'll be so busy helping people and growing your business, having fun, getting dirty, right? Learning, enjoying people, enjoying your time. It really is important for you not to hold yourself back, because, people can work to, maybe they can't join with you right now, but maybe in 6 months they can. And so there's no need for you to sit back and wait for them, because you need to trust the process that what happens is what's meant to be. Okay? In the meantime, get dirty, learn, and have fun. Okay? So here's the puzzle piece here. Puzzle piece. I really like this slide. I don't know if you could tell. This was also in my branding slide too. So niche is all about connection. So you have your solution, right? And how you help people. And then you have the people on the other side who are in need of that solution. Okay? It's like puzzle pieces coming together that are meant to be. So here's what I have to offer you. I love teaching this work, the lucrative niche, in a half day. It takes 4 hours and it's all online. Wear your PJs for, all I care. We're flexible with the date, but we will schedule it within 2 weeks. And it could be in a small group format, or it could just be you and I. Either or, it's really important for you to have somebody outside of yourself to bounce your ideas off of. Okay, that's exactly what I do. Your investment for the lucrative niche VIP half day is $297. When it comes to small groups, I do like to keep my groups about 6 people max. So if this sounds like something you want to do, I recommend that you sign up sooner than later so that we can get you into a group, a sooner group. Also, please know for the $297, this is the investment level for 2021. However, in 2022, that investment is going to go up. So if this is an investment that matches your budget, I recommend that you sign up for it sooner than later. So here's what we're going to cover, okay? Number 1, you might have come to this already, but you might not have. So deciding upon your general niche, okay? Then we're going to do a little bit of mindset work, and we're going to come up with refining your niche, okay, to make that niche smaller. Okay, so example 1 can be, I want to work with women-owned businesses. Number 2 could be, refining that could be, I want to work with women-owned businesses who have been in business 10 years or more. Okay, so see how I refined it? And step 3 is look for the lucrative paying niche. Okay, so that means, okay, not only do I want to work with women entrepreneurs, I want to work with women entrepreneurs who've been in business more than 10 years. And I want to work with women entrepreneurs who also earn about $10 million a year in revenue. Okay, do you see how specific that happened? So in order to do that, that's a lot of mindset coaching between you and me. So let's talk about what else this includes. We're going to say goodbye to any doubts that you have around niching, and we're going to go beyond your comfort zone. Who needs you and who have you I made a misspelling there. Who needs you and who have you overlooked? Okay. You know what? I should give you an example with that. I have a holistic coach that I work with, and she really loves to stay in her zone of people that look like her, have the same values, have the same sort of income level, and she helps people with stress. However, the people who are stressed are not people like her. The people who are stressed are in her neighborhood corporate workers, corporate working women working, 80 hours a week and having to juggle. Okay, juggle more than a person would expect to juggle. So the holistic coach that I work with had to understand that, sure, you aren't a corporate stressed out person, but guess what? You teach stress management, they need stress management, and they can pay for it too. Okay, so we cover that in your experience. Number 3, we talk about, is the need hot or not? How ready are they to sign up? Do they really value you? Or do they want to work with you perhaps this weekend or next week? Or do they kind of want to work with your subject maybe sometime down the line? Okay, remember, the sooner it is, the stronger it is for you, because you need to close the sales faster. That's what having a lucrative niche is. Number 4, having a new marketing message and exactly how to say hello to your new niche. And number 5, new space, new you, how to find opportunities to connect with your lucrative niche. Okay, so again, in the example of the holistic health person who does the stress management, she needed to find out, okay, how can I share my message without alienating this group of people? And where can I go and feel comfortable and share my messages of stress management so that the people who can hire me see me? Okay, where can I join the conversation? Okay? Now, before I leave you today, I want you to think about and journal these few questions. Now, what if you could discover your lucrative niche? Okay? And think about it. Okay? Just do me a favor, just open up your arms wide and stretch and think of the possibilities there. Number 1, how could this impact your business? Number 2, how would it affect your relationships? And number 3, how would it make a big difference in your life? If you have any questions, please let me know. You can use the chat or you can email me, and I'm very happy to help you decide if this is the right VIP half day for you. Have a great day. Bye.